So yeah, hi, good evening everyone. So in this video we are going to see a toggleable modifier in Jetpack Compose, and this modifier is really useful in Jetpack Compose. Okay, so let's understand through by this example. Suppose we have a row composable function, and inside that we have a text and a checkbox. Suppose I want to make this row clickable so that our checkbox can check on and off. So this type of things can be achieved by a toggleable modifier. You can also do without using toggleable modifier, but that process is very lengthy and also not a recommended way to do that. So it's better to use toggleable modifier. Okay, so let's understand through by the code. So I have already created the project in Jetpack Compose, and I am using the latest Compose bomb version for that, and also the Kotlin latest version is 1.9.0. and when you come into the module level, here I am using the target SDK version is 34, and when you see like the Kotlin compiler extension version, which is 1.540. So for this project I am using the latest version of all of our dependency. So now come into the coding section. Here I have created the toggleable modifier.kt file. Okay, so now create a composable function called toggleable modifier. So I have created the composable function. Now here we have to create a composable function called box and fill max, provide fill max size and content alignment to the center. And okay, so whatever we write inside this box, that will be in the center. Okay, because I have provided the content alignment to the center. So now inside that just call a row composable function and pass to modifier fill max width, and after that just pass text composable function write check box, and one more thing, modifier equal to weight will be your 1f. Okay, and after that just call checkbox composable function here checkbox, and basically it takes two mandatory parameter, which is checked and on check value, on check change something. So checked means like the current state of the checkbox, and on check will update the checkbox value. But basically we are not depending on the checkbox. We are depending on the row composable function for updating the checkbox value. So what we can do, instead here we can pass the null value, because I'm not clicking on the checkbox. We have to click on the row composable function. Okay, so to keep track the current state of our checkbox, for that we have to create a mutable state variable. So just create a mutable state variable called is checked something by remember, and just pass mutable state of, and just pass value false. So by default the value will be false here, and import here. Now it is done. Okay, and pass is checked value here. Okay, now this part is done. Now come into the main part to make the row clickable so that our checkbox can check on and off. Okay, so what we will do here, just call one modifier called toggleable here, toggleable, and basically it takes three mandatory parameter. First is your value, and second will be your on value change, and third value will be your role. Okay, so in the value section we have to pass is checked value, which will keep track the current state of our checkbox, and on value change will be used to update our checkbox value. So basically it return the boolean value like true, false, false to something. Okay, and is checked equal to it. Here we have to pass it because it return the it here. Okay, so it basically it return the boolean value which will update the is checked variable. And in the role section we have to tell like what role we have to keep. Okay, so basically role take lots of parameter, lots of type. Basically role dot, when you press dot here you will get lots of option here, So we want to make this role checkbox, okay, because we are using checkbox. We have lots of options, like we have button, drop down list, radio button, something, so you can use according to your situation. So I am using here checkbox, so the role is your checkbox. Okay, now everything is done. Okay, now our row is clickable and it will update our checkbox value. So what will happen basically, when you click on the row composable function, on value change will be triggered and it just update the value to the is checked mutable state variable, and mutable state and is checked is a mutable state variable. So whenever its value change, it will just recompose that composable function where it is using. So it is using here checkbox, okay, in the checkbox composer function. So it just recomposes the this composer function and our value will be updated. So now it's time to run this application. Okay, so now our application is working, and when you click on this row composer function, our checkbox value is updating here. Okay, so that's all about our toggleable modifier in Jetpack Compose. But when you notice here, whenever I click on the row composer function, a ripple effect is coming. Okay, so if you want to stop this ripple effect, you can do more thing here. So when you click on the toggleable modifier composer like modifier here, so when you scroll down, it takes two more parameter, introduction, source and indication. So this variable will be helpful, this parameter will be helpful to stop the ripple effect. So what we can do here, just pass indication null and mutable interaction source. Here we have to pass mutable interaction source here, right? Now done. So now when you click on the row composer function, our ripple effect is gone, and now it's working fine. So this is all about toggleable modifier in Jetpack Compose, and this modifier is really useful.